Today I've got a compact, ergonomic and incredibly comfortable handheld console with a stunning, vibrant display. Meet the Retroid Pocket Mini, a handheld that runs on Android 10 and can play thousands of games from classic retro titles for the Nintendo and Game Boy, all the way up to popular hits from the PlayStation 2, GameCube and even Nintendo Switch. In this video, we'll unbox the console, take a look at its design, and compare it to the 5th generation model, since they look quite similar and are close in price. And at the end of the video, as always, I'll test a few games and share my final thoughts. But first, let's check out the key specs. The Retroid Pocket Mini is powered by a Snapdragon 865 processor with 8 cores. For graphics, it uses the Adreno 650. While it's an older chip, it still delivers great performance, especially with the built-in active cooling system, which helps the processor run at full capacity without overheating. This is the exact same chip used in the Retroid Pocket 5, which I reviewed a few months ago. If you haven't seen that video yet, make sure to check it out, the link is in the description box. This console comes with 6GB of LPDDR4X RAM compared to the 8GB in the Retroid Pocket 5. In my opinion, that's an important factor if you're planning to play heavier games. It also has a 128GB of internal storage plus a microSD card slot on the bottom for expansion. By the way, this console was kindly provided for review by WhatGeek, so big thanks to them. You can grab this or other consoles on their website and get 12% off with my promo code Blogoodf. The link to the Retroid Pocket Mini is in the description box. Now let's talk about the key difference between these consoles: the screen. The Mini features a gorgeous 3.7-inch AMOLED display, while the Pocket 5 has a larger 5.5-inch screen. It's also a touchscreen, which makes navigating the interface easier. And here's where we get into the recent controversy surrounding this handheld. The manufacturer claims the screen has a resolution of 1280 by 960 pixels. But in reality, the visible area is actually 1240 by 930. Because of this, there are some scaling issues, most noticeable when using linear shaders. Personally, I don't think it's a big deal. It's not a deal breaker for me, especially since there are tons of shaders that work perfectly with this screen. In fact, not all retro gamers use shaders at all. If you want to dive deeper into this issue, you can find a link to the investigation in the description box. There is one more thing about this screen: PWM flicker. If you're sensitive to it like I am, you'll probably notice some eye strain after a while. So if you're PWM sensitive, keep that in mind when choosing a handheld. You might want to consider the Retroid Pocket 4 Pro instead. I also have a full review of that on my channel. Because the Mini is smaller than the Pocket 5, it comes with a slightly smaller battery, 4000 mAh. It also features Bluetooth 5.1, Wi-Fi 6 and a USB Type-C port that supports DisplayPort for connecting to a monitor or TV. Like I mentioned earlier, it runs on Android 10 out of the box, but you can upgrade it to Android 13 if you'd like. There are already detailed guides online on how to do that. The console weighs around 220 grams and is roughly the same size as my iPhone 15. You can easily slip it into your pocket and play anywhere. Alright, now let's get into the unboxing. The Retroid Pocket Mini comes in this kind of packaging. There is a protective sticker at the bottom you'll need to peel off before opening the box. Right inside, you'll find a screen protector, just like the one that comes with the Pocket 5, which covers the entire front surface. Under the protective padding is the console itself, which I'll set aside for a second. Also in the box, a quick start guide and a standard branded USB Type-A to USB Type-C charging cable. Pretty standard stuff for Retroid consoles. Now, let's take a closer look at the console. Mine's the grey version, officially called 16-bit. By the way, WhatGeek also sells it in orange, maroon and black. The front is fully covered with glass, and in terms of size, the Mini feels a bit thicker than the Pocket 5. The bezels at the top and bottom also look a bit chunky. After turning the console on, I updated the firmware right away. The whole process took less than 5 minutes. As for the controls, the buttons, D-pad and analog sticks are identical to the ones on the Retroid Pocket 5. There are some of the best controls I've seen on a handheld like this, and I really enjoy using them. The back of the console has a matte plastic finish. On the Pocket 5, the grip area has a more texture for better handling, and the triggers and bumpers are textured too. It's a bit of a shame they did not do the same for the Mini, though some people might actually prefer the smoother design. Thankfully, the ergonomic shape is still just as comfortable. Design-wise, these two consoles look very similar and share a lot of the same DNA. The biggest difference you'll notice right away is the screen. Just like the Pocket 5, the Mini also lets you adjust performance modes, fan speed and analog stick lighting, which adds a nice futuristic vibe to the device. Visually, I really like how this handheld looks. It feels great in hand and it's comfortable to play on for hours at a time. As for the software, like with the Pocket 5, you'll need to set up your games, apps and emulators. Most of them can be downloaded directly from the Google Play Store. You'll also find a post in my Telegram channel with a full list of the emulators and apps I use. The links in the description box. And before we continue, please like and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. This helps me promote the channel. Also, you can click the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos. Thank you for your attention. Let's continue. Alright, let's move on to game testing. While testing games, I did not apply any shaders, so you could see for yourself that there are no major scaling issues with this display. All the games I tested ran without any problems. Again, I want to point out, yes, there is technically a scaling issue, but in practice, I've spent hours playing on this thing and haven't noticed anything that really bothered me. Games for more demanding consoles like the Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 1 run great. I also like that the screen's 4:3 aspect ratio is perfect for most retro titles.
Ah, that's better.
Wow! Tasty! Wow!
Final lap.
Let's look at PSP performance now. Even at max graphics settings, games run smoothly without dropped frames. The only downside here is the screen ratio. You get those thick black bars at the top and bottom. Considering the price of the console, playing PSP games isn't as satisfying as it is on the Retroid Pocket 5. Moving on to PlayStation 2, most games run smoothly at 2x resolution. If you hit any FPS drops in heavy scenes, you can always lower the upscale setting a bit. GameCube performance is excellent as well. In fact, the 4:3 display is a perfect match for all of these titles. You can also run a number of Nintendo Switch games, but due to the small screen size, it's not super comfortable. The Pocket 5 is a better pick for that kind of gameplay.
Be on your guard. It's the reservoir.
And don't forget about Android games from the Play Store. For example, GTA San Andreas, a classic that I've replayed multiple times, runs beautifully. Overall, I really like this console, both in terms of performance and design. It's compact and battery life is solid. When comparing it to the Pocket 5, they are nearly identical in terms of performance. The decision comes down to which types of games you're more into. If you like PlayStation 1 and 2, GameCube and retro systems with a 4:3 aspect ratio, go for the Retroid Pocket Mini. But if you're more into PSP, Nintendo Switch and games with a wider screen format, I'd recommend spending a bit more and getting the Retroid Pocket 5. Sure, it's less portable, but the bigger screen makes a big difference for gameplay comfort. Once again, you can grab this console from WhatGeek, and don't forget to use my promo code Blogoodf for 12% off. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I wish you pleasant nostalgia and successful completion of your favorite games.